Imagine driving 516 miles through the wildest highlands in Britain, where the roads are 1 lane wide and the castles stand on the edge of the world. This is a complete North Coast 500, the legendary loop around Scotland's wild highlands, and you drive every mile of it from one city. Castles on empty cliffs, beaches that look tropical until you touch the water, and one road pass with a warning we'll cover at the top of day 3. Here is the whole route, day by day, where to fly in, and exactly what to see by car. Day 1, fly into Inverness. It all starts in Inverness, the capital of the Highlands and the one airport you need. Pick up a small car here, because small is your friend on these roads, and spend the first day close to base. Just south sits Loch Ness, 23 miles of black water that holds more fresh water than every lake in England and Wales combined, with the broken towers of Urquhart Castle standing guard over it. A few minutes the other way lies Culloden, the bleak moor where the last pitched battle on British soil was fought and lost in 1746, ending the Jacobite cause in a single brutal hour. Walk the field, read the clan stones, and feel how the history sits here. Then have a proper meal in town and sleep well, because tomorrow you point the car north and the wild begins. From here, the whole loop unspools in front of you. Day 2, north up the east coast to the top of Britain. Day 2, drive north up the east coast, the gentler side of the loop, where the road runs wide and fast. Break the journey at Dunrobin Castle, a white fairy tale of turrets and formal gardens rising straight off the Sutherland coast, lived in since the 13th century, and still the largest house in the Northern Highlands. Keep going and the land empties out as you reach the very top of Britain. Stand on Dunnet Head, the northernmost point of the mainland, where the cliffs fall into the Pentland Firth and the Orkney Islands float on the horizon. Just along the coast is John O'Groats, the famous end of the road, and a short walk past it brings you to the Duncansby Stacks, towering sea spires the wind has carved out of the cliffs. You are about as far north as you can drive in Britain. Sleep near Thurso, then get ready for the wildest stretch of all. Day 3, west to Durness and Assynt. Now the road turns west, and it changes character completely. From here, much of the North Coast 500 narrows to single track, 1 lane of tarmac with passing places cut into the verge. When a car comes the other way, whoever is nearest a passing place pulls in, and you give the small wave of thanks that up here is close to sacred. Do not block those passing places. Do not race the locals who live and work on these roads, and fill the tank whenever you can, because petrol stations thin out fast in the far north. With that understood, the scenery turns prehistoric. Walk into Smoo Cave near Durness, a vast sea cave with a waterfall crashing through a hole in its roof. Then the road bends south into Assynt, where single mountains like Culloden rise alone out of the moor, lifting from some of the oldest rock on the planet, close to 3 billion years old. On the shore of Loch Assynt stand the ruins of Ardrett Castle, a broken 16th century tower wrapped in dark legend. Pull off at Achmelvik, a cove of white sand and water so clear it could pass for the Caribbean, until the cold hits your feet. Find a bed near Lochinver or Ullapool and rest your legs, because tomorrow has the climb. Day 4, down the west coast through Torridon. Day 4 runs down the west coast, and it is the most beautiful driving of the whole trip. Start in Ullapool, a tidy fishing village of whitewashed houses along a curving harbor, the one real town out here, and a fine place for fresh seafood straight off the boats. South of it, the road threads into Torridon, where huge russet mountains of ancient sandstone heave straight up from the sea lochs, often with their heads lost in cloud. This is hill-walking country at its most dramatic, and even from the car, the scale of it is hard to take in. The road is mostly single track now, slow and winding, so do not rush it, because urging this stretch is the real mistake. Stop often, let the faster locals by, and breathe it in. Stay the night near Shieldaig or Applecross, right at the foot of the famous pass, and get an early night. Day 5, the Bealach na Ba, and back to Inverness. The final day is the one you will remember most. From Applecross, you climb the Bealach na Ba, the Pass of the Cattle, an old droving route that rises to over 2,000 feet in a series of tight hairpin bends with almost nothing between the edge and the drop. There is a warning sign at the bottom for a reason, and large vehicles are sent the long way round. Take it slow in low gear, and at the summit, pull over to a view that runs clear across the sea to the Isle of Skye and the Outer Hebrides. Then the road tips down the far side and carries you quietly back east toward Inverness, closing the loop exactly where it began. That is the whole loop. One city to start and finish, 500 miles of castles, empty beaches, and ancient mountains between, and the wildest road in Britain, saved for last. Drive it on its own, or add it to a British Isles cruise. Now tell me, are you going clockwise or anti-clockwise? Because Scots will argue about that all night.